And we're back. All right. So the other day I was in front of my building. I really didn't want to have this conversation, but I ended up having a conversation with my mom and my neighbor. So my neighbor was telling me that her and her daughter, well, not really her and her daughter and her children's father always get into these fights and arguments, and it's in her house, so she intervenes, and they both tell her, you should mind your business because it has nothing to do with you. But at the end of the day, it's her house. So she asked me what my take on it was. So me and her daughter are roughly around the same age, right? She has kids and I don't, but that's gonna come into play a little bit later. So she asked me what my take on it was, and I was like, I can't speak for your daughter or anybody else for that matter, but in my experience, I pay for my room. While I do live with my parents, I'm paying them to live there. So it's basically like we're roommates and I'm renting out a room, right? So if I'm having a dispute or argument or what have you in my bedroom behind closed doors, no, I don't feel like whoever owns the house has the right to come into my room and tell me X, Y, and Z because this is my personal space, the place that I am paying for. So no, I don't feel like you have that right. But if I'm bringing my problems and my issues out into a public area, say like the living room or the door or like the front door, then yes, you have every right to question me. Do I feel like you have the right to jump into my argument? Probably not, and here's the reason why. So, if me and my significant other are having an argument, it is an argument while it's in a common area. It is an argument for me and my significant other to dispute. Like I feel like when we live with our parents, we all know that we're adults. I'm an adult. But because I live with my parents, I sometimes feel like I'm a child. So I do feel like I have to navigate and figure out what works for me and what doesn't work for me. While I'm always going to be grateful to my parents for allowing me to stay with them as long as they have, I don't necessarily want them to give me tips and advice for different situations because I have to figure it out for myself. I can't expect you to jump into my problems and protect me and defend me because that's not teaching me how to grow or be grown for that matter. It's just letting me know that I'm always going to be this little kid and you're always going to be there to defend me, and that can ultimately lead to a downfall. Like I'm never going to know how to take care of myself if you guys keep intervening and not allowing me to experience and make mistakes and learn from them. So me and my neighbor were talking, like I'm giving her these tips and insights or whatever, and I was like, especially when it comes to a couple dispute, you shouldn't jump in. The only time, I mean, you can say since it's in a common area, it is your house, you can say you guys have to take it elsewhere. That's fine. You can jump in when it looks like it's gonna become more aggressive than it should. If it looks like it's about to come to blows, then yes, you should intervene. But if it's a couple spat about X, Y, and Z, no, I don't feel like, regardless of who the household really belongs to, you don't have the right. You don't really have the right to intervene. Again, you can say go away. You can say do this, that, and the third. But let me figure this argument out for myself. Let me figure out where I'm gonna go next. Because if you don't allow me to do so, I'm never gonna learn. Um, so I tried to like speak that into her, and then she was like, "I just find it so hard to hold my tongue." I was like, "Me too." Like y'all all know I have issues with my mom and my dad, of them being like, I have mommy issues, I have daddy issues, I have issues with them being married, I have issues with the arguments, and I feel like I'm getting better at holding my tongue because ultimately, when they are, look at the neck fat though. Like, do you see it? Oh my god, it's so much. I'm so chubby. Ultimately, like when they argue and fight, it has nothing to do with me. I realize that they are who they are and they're not going to change. So me stressing over whatever situation they have going on is detrimental to my health, honestly. So I'm learning to let them do them and just ignore it or walk away from it because it's not my issue. That's just adding stress to me, you know? So then it came to, because my mom and my neighbor they're like from the old school. They were like how their moms at 18 were like, it's time for you to get out of my house. And at the ages that we are now, when they were this age, like I'm 28, when they were this age, they had families, they were married, their moms pushed them to be that person at such a young age. And I kind of feel like that all moms, and it happens for everybody, you always want to disprove your mom or your dad's theory about raising children. So while their moms push them out, our moms coddle us. And it's kind of like, oh my God, the word is evading me right now. it's kind of like them showing their mom, oh, you raised me this way and I didn't appreciate it, so I'm going to do something better with my child. But ultimately, it coddles us and it's forcing us to stay home later. Like, we're not pushed out into the world, we're just there. Like, I have this constant struggle with my mom. I've been trying to leave this state forever since I was like 16, and it hasn't worked yet because she makes it so freaking comfortable and convenient for me to be in her house. But she doesn't want me to move to another state. She doesn't want me to move to another borough. But I'm a grown ass woman and I have that right to do so. I love them and I want to be there for them if they need me. But moms, they it's hard for them to let go, and I'm the last. Well, technically I'm the last in the house, technically. So it's really, really weird. It's really funny. So like, we just had that conversation. Well, I didn't want to have the conversation, my boobs are itching, I'm sorry guys, kind of like hot and sticky. Well, I didn't want to have the conversation, I had the conversation. I felt like, oh shit, I'm insightful, check me out, dropping knowledge and stuff. Oh, don't look done. Sorry. Bye, guys.